So we're sitting at a desk all day long for hours and hours and hours. That's going to put a lot of stress on the low back. So I'm going to show you a couple tricks and tips to make sure that your workspace is set up ideally for your body, that we're not wearing everything down throughout the day. First thing you want to look at is your chair. Ideally you want to be at about a 90-degree angle when you're relaxed and seated at your knees, and about a 90-degree angle with your arms at your sides and your elbows here. This would be perfect if my keyboard were basically right in front of me here. I could do that. Unfortunately, this setup is not ideal for my body type and this chair, so I'm going to have to play around with a couple settings to make this work for me. The first thing I'm going to need to do is elevate my chair up. Now the problem that I run into when I do that is that I lose that 90-degree angle. Alright, so ideally what I can do from there is put a pillow or some kind of pad, or if you have a couple thick books or something that you don't really use, you can put underneath, and that way my feet can rest on that and it puts me at about my 90-degree angle. Now from there I can make sure I can get as close to my workstation as possible. Alright, this is not perfect, but again, neither is life. The next thing I'm going to look at is my screen height. So I would like to have my screen height, the center of my screen, at about my eye level. So again, if I have anything around, a couple textbooks or anything like that, I can actually elevate my screen here to be at about the level I need it. I could even go up a little bit higher on this. So ideally we want to have the screen where I'm looking straight forward, not looking down, not reaching. Everything's nice and stable. Now this is pretty good, getting closer. Now I don't have to reach too far to get my hands onto the keyboard. My mouse is right here. I can probably bring these up just a little bit, make sure that my shoulders aren't shrugging up and they're relaxed, and I can stay nice and supported. Now the only issue I'm running into here is that my low back, right, is not very well supported. I can sink down and allow my butt to kind of curl up and under. So in that scenario, I would use probably the easiest thing to do would be using a rolled up towel. We're just using some sheets, some massage sheets in this case, but would be about this diameter, approximately like 4 or 5 inches or so, and that's going to go right into the small of my back. Right, and get to a point where it can kind of just settle in and I can sink back and I'm not sitting on my tailbone, right? So I'm weighted onto my sit bones right underneath my bottom. My feet are flat, my shoulders are relaxed, and I'm able to reach everything that I need to reach without stressing anything forward or back or leaning one way or the other. So doing all those things, making sure you have all those pieces in place will ensure that your body is not stressed out in the low back, that the muscles aren't going to start to spasm, the joints aren't going to be compressed, the nerves are going to be clear and free, and you won't have any problems at the end of your workday.